see the emperor for what he is. He's got no clothes on now, and they can see the fact that he utilized whatever power he had. And then, when it didn't work, he then set about to tearing down the reputation.
Every now, everything, tell me, come a time and again, let me be the one. Can you hear what I say?
What's going on, Sammy? Well, folks, it's the end of camping as we know it. And I hope you're proud of yourselves of what you've done. Because we've all contributed a little bit towards ruining camping for everybody. And I'm going to tell you what is really going on. In case you have missed it, first of all, during peak camping season, wherever that may be in the world that you are living in, have you noticed campgrounds now are super packed all during summer? Or peak time, or whatever you want to call it. Because, summer in Phoenix camping is a lot different than winter in Phoenix camping. So there are exceptions. And whenever I want a campground in Washington State or British Columbia, especially the, state-run ones, I gotta book months in advance just to get in. I recall even having to, I remember one time if I wanted to go camp with some friends, I had to book like 2 weeks solid and then cancel all the midweek stuff afterwards because that's the way their booking system worked, or else I wouldn't be allowed to get in because they wouldn't allow me to book for just weekends. Now what's really going on is families with campers generally, they ain't got no money to go out of the city. They're kind of limited for about 2 hours a time. They're the weekend warriors, as I like to call them. They get off work at 5 on a Friday, and they rush with their RV to wherever they're going to camp, set up, drink a whole lot of liquor, play Leonard Skinner and Van Halen loud, and no disrespect to either of those bands. Fine music, if I might say so, but I definitely don't want to hear it all the time when I'm camped next to you. And so the weekend warriors can't afford the gasoline and the time to go anywhere away from wherever the hell they live unless they're on a 2 or 3 week vacation. All these damn camping spots fill up and they're packed in like sardines. Hell, I remember when gasoline was maybe 60 cents a gallon and I lived in the Yukon as a kid, and we didn't even want to go to the campgrounds that were close to Whitehorse because that's the big city. So we would actually drive hours to get away from it, to be in the true north, strong and free in Canada's Yukon. And part of this problem is the cost of living. Everybody's got RV payments on the Never 20-year financing plan. And so they can't even afford to really use their RV to the full extent in which they should be able to because they're debt servicing. And when you add to the fact that more and more people are using RVs as permanent dwelling, that just puts more pressure on the entire system. And don't forget, we're having the largest intergenerational exchange of assets occurring now. So as the baby boomers die, they're giving up their RVs, and their children and families are inheriting them or selling them to you. And you're thinking, well, it's still the same amount of RVs on the road. Well, it actually is a little more complex than that. Because when I go camping with seniors in their 70s, especially in the fall, their families are not camping with them. They're retired. They don't work. So it's Mama Bear and Papa Bear. RV, just the two of them. Now, when their kids inherit their RV, it's not two of them. They're bringing the whole damn family. So the population of the actual RV park or campground that you're at increases exponentially. Add to that the screaming brats. Not a big fan, never had kids. I'm not anti-kids, I'm just anti-screaming brats. If your kids don't scream and run around like crazy people, I have no problem. I have no problem with kids that are well behaved. Kids, after all, should be seen and not heard. That is a tradition that somehow was lost between my generation and the current one. I do not know why. And the same goes for dogs. Should be seen, never heard. My dog knows when she barks, it's time to go in. You've ruined it for yourself there, buddy. And this problem is getting so serious that even the shoulder seasons are getting more congested. As I've told many of you, the absolute sweetest spot of camping in Western Canada is September after Labor Day, when the little brats are back in school and everybody's back at work. It's generally more mature campers, retired people, or people that really know fucking best. And on top of that, more and more people on social media can't keep their goddamn mouth shut about all the good spots to go camping. They gotta be bragging, look at me, look at this wonderful spot, monetizing it and selling out for $20 worth of ad revenue just to advertise it to the world and ruin it for everybody. Heck, I still got one or two places that I've never mentioned on my social media ever because I don't want to ruin it. I like to be able to roll in whenever I want, without a reservation, relax, camp, and not have to deal with yahoos from all over the world coming to ruin my little private paradise. And you think about it, folks. If you're my age, you're in your 50s or your 60s, and you look back to when you were camping decades ago, take a gander in your mind how the actual population of campers has increased. Now, we do have more campgrounds now, but they're just more people, and more people camping longer, more people broke ass that can't afford to go to the south of France like normal vacationers do. Well, so what do they gotta do? They gotta go camping. It's to the point for me that camping isn't relaxing, because it's about strategy and reservations and fighting for your best spot and telling your neighbor to shut the fuck up and telling him to put his dog on a leash, telling him to turn off his music, calling security. You know, it's just not fun. And you wonder why I jump on a plane and go to another country often. Because it's just easier. Sometimes it's even cheaper. And camping is not cheap anymore, folks. Good campground often charges anywhere between $30 and $60 a night. And you add to the fuel cost to get there, add a case of beer, a couple fine cuts of meat, some snacks, maybe even extra fees for your dog, or parking fees for your car, or permits, or God knows what. It all adds up. A weekend camping for 4 people can easily run hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And those same people that are spending several $100 to go camping for the weekend, they can't afford to go anywhere. It's the old saying, folks. Sometimes people love something so much, they kill it. Welcome to the end of camping as we know it. Also seems like the only campgrounds that you can get into with very little notice are the ones with people with addictions and social issues. The ones that, call me old-fashioned, I don't like to stay at. Perhaps you do. Some people like to be closer to their meth dealer. I don't need to suffer from that particular joy. So it seems you only have a couple grades of campgrounds. You got the state-run ones, and then you've got the private ones. And the private ones generally fall into 3 categories. The ones that are very nice, very popular, and often very expensive. Nothing wrong with paying for quality, I believe. So I'm not bitching about the price. I will pay top dollar for a campground if they deliver the goods, as they should. Then there's the mid-tier that are, it's camping, but it's nothing to write home about. And then there's the low grade. People that are living full-time in their RVs. Nothing wrong with that. Not bashing that at all. I do that myself. But these people are ones with social problems. They have addiction. They actually up to no good. You can tell the RV parks that have these types of folks by the amount of traffic coming and going at night. Are they dealing drugs? Who knows? But they're doing something that they probably shouldn't be, and not the type of place where I would want to camp. I don't like my stuff to disappear the moment I jump in my car to go buy some groceries, and I come home to a broken-in RV. So y'all remember when camping was fun? Back when, you know, sex was dirty and the air was clean, probably? And y'all ever try to even just go have a picnic in a park in the summer? Good luck! You can't find a picnic spot. You can't even find a parking spot half the time. It's just ridiculous. So, that's all part of the signs of we're nearing the end here, folks, because it is the end of camping as we know it, and I feel fine. So, speaking of which, I gotta walk this pooper here. Everybody keeps asking, where's the pooper? How's the pooper? The pooper's fine. Hey, pooper. She's all excited. She knows she's getting a walk. So, anyhow, from an undisclosed park here in Western Canada, I bid you adieu. Over and out.